Hi there, Malcolm here with my 187th BookTube video, and today was supposed to be my review for March's book of the month, Machine Vendetta by Alastair Reynolds. However, this is book 3 of a trilogy set in the Revelation Space universe, and there's almost nothing I can talk about this without spoilers about anything else that happens in the entire trilogy. So I could just say, really enjoyed it, booktastic, but that makes for a very silly video. Now recently I've noticed an increase in my previous and first video of the series Why I Read Science Fiction, Harry Harrison, link below. I thought I would do a few more videos covering some other authors, but figured now is a good time to cover Alastair Reynolds. Compared to a lot of science fiction authors I read, Alastair Reynolds is a relatively new one, and although I have read a few of his books, I've not yet read everything, something I do want to try and fix, but we'll see. He's a relatively new science fiction author with his first book, Revelation Space, coming out in the year 2000. So, why read Alastair Reynolds? Though he's classed as writing hard science fiction for adults, not all of his books come under that category. So he does pander to a good variety of accessibility and ages. Now for those who do like hard science fiction, I do recommend Revelation Space. It's a mystery novel set in humanity's far, far, far distant future, and it has expanded it into a series. I've only read this one of the main series, but it's followed by Redemption Arc, Absolution Gap, and Inhibitor Phase, which I do have somewhere. Inhibitor Phase, so I've got 2 books in the middle to try and get a hold of so I can read those, and I do want to. Lovely covers as well. And then tied into that is a one-shot Chasm City, possibly the next Alastair Reynolds I'll read. Set in the Revelation Space universe, but you don't need to have read anything else to enjoy this one. And similarly, there is the Prefect Dreyfus Emergency trilogy, starting with Aurora Rising, originally published as The Prefect, Elysium Fire, as I mentioned earlier, Machine Vendetta. The 3 books are set in a collection of space stations or space habitats. There are literally thousands of these. Some are abandoned, some are well populated, some are affluent, some are poor. But together, every single person of every single station gets to vote on every decision made, and ensuring that these votes are collected fairly and are not tampered with, the prefects police the glitter band, as it's called. And the 3 books contain 3 mysteries following Prefect Dreyfus as he goes through a police procedural style adventure, trying to work out who the perpetrator is, dealing with the ramifications of the things that have happened. And yes, it's a science fiction story, but anyone who enjoys crime stories could enjoy this. And again, you don't need to know anything about Revelation Space itself to enjoy these 3 books. I think they are fantastic, and as good as Revelation Space was, I prefer these 3 so far. A really solid trilogy. For a slightly younger audience, there's the Revenger trilogy, starting with Revenger, Shadow Captain, and Bone Silence. If you've seen the Disney film Treasure Planet, it's set in a future not too dissimilar to that. Basically, space piracy, planets and constructs that turn out to be other things. And the story follows 2 sisters who run away from home to crew on a ship, only to become besieged by pirates, and then it turns into a revenge story and a survival story. Brilliant world building with a very intense storyline. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Another trilogy is Blue Remembered Earth, On the Steel Breeze, and Poseidon's Wake. This is the Poseidon's Children universe. I've not read this one yet. I've got book 1, but that's it. And it reads, Earth, the 22nd century, the mechanism knows everything. It knows where you are. It knows what you are thinking, what you are feeling. There is no crime. You are safe. But in a utopia like this, keeping a secret can be a deadly business. Alexa of the future, potentially. Though they're not all based in far-flung space. This one's an Earth-based one, set in the not-too-distant future. And of course, if massive trilogies and hard science fiction is putting you off a bit, he does do standalone stuff as well. So there's Century Rain, another one I've not read yet. Pushing Ice, House of Suns, Terminal World, The Medusa Chronicles, which he wrote with Stephen Baxter, and this is a sequel to Arthur C. Clarke's novella A Meeting with Medusa. I have read this one, I borrowed it from the library. Really good, all set within the solar system, and Eversion. So if you don't want to get involved in great big series or trilogies, there are standalones as well. If you like big books, he does novellas, including Slow Bullets. This actually won the Locus Award. An interstellar adventure of war, identity, betrayal, and the preservation of civilization itself. Looking forward to reading this one. So I've got an awful lot of stuff, I've not read it yet. Or if you just want to dip your toe, he's also done a whole bunch of short stories. Quite often they're collected in the Mammoth Book of Best New SF, whatever. But I've also got Zima Blue and Beyond the Aquila Rift. This was a really good collection. I remember reading that one. Some are tied into some of his series, but others are standalone. Really good tasters of what he does. But generally his stories are full of likeable characters, big ideas, adventure, peril, lots of peril. He's big on peril, as well as a hopeful look at the future, the far, far future. I hope you've enjoyed that. I have. I've certainly got an awful lot more Alastair Reynolds to get reading. Like trying to get Chasm City done soon. Have you read any Alastair Reynolds? What's your favourite book by him? What's your favourite short story by him? And do you prefer series, standalones, novellas, short stories? Comments below, please. But as usual, if you have nothing nice to say, then please keep it to yourself. And look out for more videos in this series. I'm thinking of doing Bob Shaw next. And until next time, see you later.